Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I am the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is dedicated to creating happier and healthier workforces all around. And today, I really want to talk about something that is so dear to my heart, and it's the idea or this new heartbeat of entrepreneurship, embracing humanity over return on investment. So I want you to explore this with me, and we're going to look at the intersectionality of business, social impact, and personal growth. And so do stay with me, because this is a subject that sort of interlaps in between, but it's really important that we look at this transformative approach of entrepreneurship and how prioritizing humanity over mere financial has its returns. And we'll explore the work of, the likes of people like the social impact businesses like the Social Hub, which was founded by the amazing Charlie MacGregor, which I use as my example today on this segment, and how we can embrace the art of texture, which is our interconnectedness as humans, and then we can then lead to profound community growth and positive change once we master that. So we are going to look at understanding that shift that has happened in the last few years. The pandemic, as I was saying to somebody the other day, has taught us a lot of lessons. Some terrible ones, and some really good ones, I think. And in an era where everything is dominated by the pursuit of profits, the conversation lately has begun to shift towards the concept of return on humanity. And this idea really highlights the importance of social impact and community well-being over traditional returns on investments, which is your ROI, over your return on humanity, which is your ROH. Now, according to a recent study that was done by the Global Impact Investment Network, it showcased that impact investing is actually projected to grow by 1 trillion by 2025. That's not too far up. We're only talking of early next year. And this, again, is showcased that more entrepreneurs were beginning to recognize and value of the aligning of their goals with social good. And I think that is amazing for humanity. I had the pleasure of meeting, briefly chatting with Charlie MacGregor of the Social Hub just soon after a presentation he did in a recent conference. And what he showcased or sort of presented about the Social Hub exemplifies this shift. I mean, they're multi-locational business in various countries. And so what they're doing is thriving. And really what they do is not just about providing accommodation. It's about developing community connections among students, young professionals, and, seasoned travelers, all in one space. And Charlie believes that the real currency in life is relationships. And also that this ethos is what has driven their business model forward. How amazing. Which then leads me to think about, okay, let's talk about the art of texture. And here we're going to refer to the rich, intricate layers of just human experiences. And of course, I love neuroscience and neuroscience-led evidence. And so neuroscience tells us that our brains are constantly wired for connections, like I always say. And the amazing Dr. John Cacioppo, who is a leading psychologist, found out that social relationships significantly impact our health and happiness. So your social wellness or your social relationships have an impact on your health and happiness. How often do we think about our social relationships and how they actually impact the world that we live in and how we drive our businesses? He also stated that, which is really interesting, that loneliness is more than just a feeling. it's a biological condition that can harm our health, which I thought was quite fascinating. So I did want to drop that in there. So looking back again at the example of the social hub approach, which Charlie describes as a camps to campus approach, and it facilitates these connections. So it integrates living, learning, traveling, and socializing in a way that nurtures community and support. So by investing in human lives, what the social hubs have created is a space where individuals can grow professionally and personally and thrive at the same time. So when we look at the idea of prioritizing humanity, it's not just confined to cultures really, or to one culture. Around the world, many societies view community well-being as a really intricate and essential part of our being. So, for instance, in Japan, I will travel around the world with you once more. The concept of Ikigai, which we covered in our previous podcast, slightly more in depth, suggests that true fulfillment comes from aligning your personal passions with the needs of the community in which you serve and are trying to save. Similarly, in indigenous cultures elsewhere in Africa, the principle of Ubuntu, which again I covered in another episode, teaches us that I am because we are. Again, it highlights our interconnectedness as humans. So as a business, adopting these philosophies, we can actually grow in fact, never mind grow. What I actually see is a growing trend towards empathy-led leadership. And we're not walking away from it anytime soon because this is thriving. So a report by Deloitte found that organizations with empathetic leaders experience something like 60% higher employee engagement. That's remarkable. And this isn't just a nice to have, thinking about your return on humanity. It really does lead to tangible and measurable benefits. And some of these include improved innovation and productivity. Like I always say, when you start to do good, magic begins to happen. And you start to grow a garden of so many beautiful roses that other people can come and prune from too, and pick some flowers from too. So why should entrepreneurs embrace this model, or the idea of looking at business from a return on humanity as opposed to return on investment first? Well, the evidence is quite compelling, I feel, and I think. And there's only so much that I can share in the 10 minutes that I have with you. But I also support this with a Harvard Business Review study that revealed that companies that focus on social impact saw something like 47% increase in stock performances over a 10-year period compared to their less socially responsible peers. 47% increase in stock performance is a huge advantage within the market. Now, this suggests to me that investing in humanity is not just morally right, but also incredibly strategic and advantageous in scaling up our businesses and in sustaining our businesses. And also, consumers are increasingly prioritizing ethical practices. So what the pandemic shifted, it shifted people into emotional buyers. It shifted our communities into emotional-led beings, and businesses that lead with empathy tend to resonate more with these audiences, which is the humans that we are trying to serve and service. Charlie again puts it quite beautifully when he says that change always begins with a single step, and we must always step towards creating environments where everyone thrives. So that's your employees. That's your audience. That's your clients, your stakeholders, your shareholders. So we just have to, take that intentional step towards just getting started and looking at how can we incorporate return on humanity into our business ethos. So as I wrap this up quickly, I just want you to remember that the journey towards prioritizing humanity over return on investment is not just about creating successful businesses,
workforces,
it's also
and
about
workplaces
creating
all around.
cultures of kindness,
Today, I wanted
empathy, and connectedness with our communities and with our societies. So the social hub is a really fantastic example, I think, and of course, and similar other initiatives that remind us that entrepreneurship can be such a powerful force for good if only you prioritize the right things and do it intentionally. It has to be an intentional step. It has to be an intentional act. So let's continue to think about the idea and the art of embracing texture in our communities and work towards creating a world where those human impacts are valued above all else. The things that we really want to see happen, the change-making things. So thank you once more for joining me today and introducing what I feel is the new heartbeat of entrepreneurship. And I just feel that I would rather love to see a future where business decisions reflect our shared humanity. And so, if you did enjoy this episode today, please do subscribe and share it with others who believe in the power of the work that we do and the power of the episodes that I bring to you on a weekly basis. And of course, please do join us next time as we continue to look at how do we grow professionally, personally, and on our entrepreneurial journeys, and how we can create innovative ideas that can really reshape our world and the worlds we're trying to save for the better good. So until next time, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Human Focus Limited to your organization and of course to your household. Until next time, please just keep the pulse of humanity beating within your entrepreneurship journey and your career advancement, and of course, your own personal growth. And it's goodbye for me.